Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Rider Club Radio. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Liam.
And this week we watched Kamen Rider Ghost episode 46 and Animal Sentai Zyuohger episode 27. And on top of that, at least I watched Legendary Rider Souls episode 7 and the Heroic Legend of the Heroic Hero Alan the Hero episode 2.
Oh, so it's turned around on us, because Legend of the Legendary Legend episode 1 I watched and you didn't, and this second one I didn't bother, and you watched it.
Oh god, you're right, I didn't watch the first.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
I completely... I didn't see anything in the second one. You could have shown me a fucking blank screen for the 15 minutes or whatever, and nothing would have been different.
That's a glowing review.
I'll talk about that later. But
Okay.
First, Liam, why don't you tell us what happened on Ghost this week?
Okay, so, alright.
Good start.
Here we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Ghost this week, Ghost 46. The Gamma want to absorb Takeru. They think he's the key to everything, which apparently means you can absorb him, and that's what they want to do. That's how he's the key. They can get the ultimate power, I think. Steve Bills wakes up. He's back to normal. He's eating some takoyaki. He gets up and he's like, we gotta do something about this Demia thing. I can fix it. I need all your help. But meanwhile, Takeru keeps hearing the voices in people's kokoros. He's on a rooftop and they're coming into his brain. All their hopes and dreams. He hears all their thoughts and he can't push them out. So he's upset about this. And then he fights some Ganmisers and nothing happens. And then he goes into some past...
Well, the Ganmisers kidnap all those characters that we know and love, like Scientist Guy and Girl. Not to be confused with Scientist Girl.
Yeah, that's what I said, Jeff. Nothing happens. So they take the past man... Space Guy comes back, and the girl...
Space Guy?
Remember the guy who's trying to build a space? He's trying to build a rocket to space.
the guy that was Ryoma.
He's gonna come back... And fucking the girl with the glasses comes back, and Einstein comes back.
Yeah, Professor Albert Einstein comes back in this episode.
But it doesn't matter, because they get Ganmisers, they get copied by the Ganmisers, there's a fight on the rooftop, and nothing happens. They get
possessed by him.
They get possessed by the Ganmisers. Nothing happens. Makoto sees his clone in a forest, nothing happens. Makoto meets up with Takeru on a roof, they fight some Ganmisers, and nothing happens.
Something happens. They have a very homoerotic moment.
Okay. There's a gay
scene. Makoto says, no matter what you look like, I'll find you, Takeru.
You're lost, you can look, and you will find me.
It started playing. It was really kind of strange and out of place.
It's one of my favorite parts of the show, actually, that song. So Steve Bills puts the word out.
Can't wait to get that soundtrack.
He gets on national TV, they all get on national TV, and they put the word out that Demia is fucked. And this is when Adele reveals that 90% of all humans in the world have Demia, and they all start turning into Adele.
Like, who's the 10%, like, fucking, like, people living in the jungle somewhere or something?
That's the thing, like, I feel like 90% constitutes a fair amount of the people living in jungles and shit, too. Like, war-torn African countries are getting these high-tech Google Glass things.
Like, what do they cost that everyone has them? Like, they show, like, a guy who's, like, a fucking fisherman turn into Adele. Like, he has them? How much do these things cost?
Like, how long... Let's compare. How long has Google Glass been out?
Like, 35,000 years.
And how many people do you know own Google Glass?
0.
Exactly. Precisely. I think there's a problem here.
Yeah, this television series is very unrealistic.
This show about ghosts stretches reality a little. Everybody, single person on Earth, buys Demia, and they all start turning into Adele in a hilarious scene where all their faces do a bad morph. Their faces morph into Adele. Musashi takes Takeru into an alternate dimension on a beach and teaches him how to listen to the voice of everything.
This show is so fucking cheesy.
And then Takeru comes back.
I can't
big fight
stand
with the
it anymore,
Ganmisers.
Liam.
Can I finish?
No!
Can I finish?
This episode made me fucking cringe from minute 1 to the final minute, like minute 3 million, however long this episode was.
23,
I cringed the entire time.
You were just scrunched up into a ball?
Yeah, I fucking, like, imploded. Like a human body does in the darkness of space.
So I'm gonna take from that you didn't like it.
You were still describing the episode.
Well, okay. Takeru comes back from Musashi's beach, and they fight some Ganmizers, and nothing happens. So, Jeff, what did you think of Ghost 46?
I didn't like it.
Yeah, you know what? Me neither. Call me crazy.
I thought that this was actually worse than the last one.
This is, I think, maybe one of my least favorite episodes. It's down there. It's so bad.
I think this might be the worst episode of this show.
It's definitely down there.
It's in the bottom 3.
Yes, for sure, bottom 3. This episode was insulting and embarrassing. It's everything I don't like about the show. The cheesiness and the poorly thought out stuff and the fights that don't go anywhere and the Makoto clone plot that has yet to go fucking anywhere. All rolled into one great little ball of an episode that I really,
and yet
really wanted
again,
to turn
nothing
off.
happens.
Nothing happens in this episode. I still don't know where they're going with any of this, and it's not clear at all.
No.
It's a show for children. It should be clear. It's not clear.
It should at least be... You should be able to pick up context clues if you want to figure out where the plot is going.
But, like, here we are.
Instead, it's just a huge clusterfuck where nothing happens. Episode after episode after episode.
It's like, here we are introducing new elements so late into the show. We're like 5 episodes off from the end of the show, and here Takeru is now hearing people's thoughts just out of nowhere, and he has to go, and Musashi appears in a form that he should have been from the start, and tells him how to listen to the voices of the rocks so he can catch the sword in the air on the beach.
Here's a question for you.
What?
Why did Musashi appear in this form?
There is no why.
You're correct. That is the correct answer. You get 100 on the test.
Thanks. There's no
reason.
Because there's no because.
He's appeared as a guy in a hood with a Ganma face in every fucking episode of the show. Except this one. And there were no specifics for why. There were no, like, fucking things that had to be done to meet the criteria. To make him appear as himself.
You know why, Jeff? I'll tell you why. It's because this scene was so emotional and powerful, they had to have the actor show his face. It would be too silly.
Listen to the voices around you, Takeru. The most fucking generic-ass schmaltzy scene.
Here's the scene.
That's also a scene, if you've never watched it, the fucking classic movie, right up there with Citizen Kane. It's also a scene in The Beastmaster 2, The Time Portal.
I'm familiar with
where
that movie.
Dar, the Beastmaster, has to learn how to listen to the sounds of the world.
I didn't know you were such
in the
a
modern
cinephile.
day. I know.
Here's the thing.
Fucking Orson Welles is a great director, but also a really great director. Whoever the fuck directed Beastmaster 2.
Was it Alan Smithy?
Alan Smithy.
That guy's really prolific. I see his name on a lot of stuff.
He was a really busy man.
Yeah.
Beastmaster 2 was directed by George Lucas.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. If Musashi had been a character from the start, I would have liked that a lot more. Like I said, if he was just like that from the start and he was just Takeru's ghost pal, that would have been great. But now it's this sort of weird thing where he just shows up out of nowhere to teach him a skill that I'm not sure why it's important or where it comes from or what he's even doing there. It's just confusing, and they don't know what they're doing. Like, the show is over. It's over. And they're throwing...
The show should be over anyway, if it's not already.
It's been teetering on the cusp of a climax for 17 years now, and they keep just being like, oh, no, no.
I was in 4th grade when Kamen Rider Ghost began airing. And now I'm an old man in a retirement home waiting for it to end, finally. The series as well.
I found out this week that X8 is coming out October 2nd, so we have a whole month of this shit ahead of us.
Happy birthday to me. One day after my birthday, Ghost is fucking... The curse is lifted and a new series begins.
That's a sign. That's a sign if I ever saw one.
Yeah, I'm the one who guessed what it was gonna be. It's all fallen into place.
So everyone, we're gonna strap in for the September of the Ghost finale.
You know what's also fucked? Did you watch the little preview for next episode? I don't give a shit about this show. I'll just talk about the next episode preview.
I don't remember it, actually. I did watch it.
Adele tells him, I'm the one who killed your father.
Yeah.
No, you're not, motherfucker. Leonardo da Vinci killed his father.
We saw, actually. We made sure we went through back in time. We irreparably altered the timeline to make it the Leonardo da Vinci.
Is this necessary?
Maybe he was Leonardo da Vinci. I don't know.
Is this 100% necessary? Like, Adele is already a bad man. We know that. He killed Alan's dad. Is he just like Mr. Patricide? He's just gotta kill everybody's dads.
Maybe it's not that he dealt the blow, but like he's taking responsibility for it.
That's a little bit too like lofty of an idea for this
way
television
too lofty
series.
Like
he pulled the gun and shot him like fucking Freeze did.
He was pulling the strings behind Leonardo da Vinci the whole time.
I don't think they're even gonna acknowledge the movie.
How can they? It's canon, right?
It should be.
Should be. It was okay.
Is Adele going to have one scene in the summer movie where he steps in and shoots Makoto's dad in the fucking head with a revolver?
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Just so he could get the hat trick?
The hat trick for dad murder?
This show is so dumb. It's like, Adele's already a villain. You can't make us feel that he's a real villain by having him kill another father. If the first one didn't do it, nothing will.
He's a shitty villain, and they're just grasping around. I think it's more like they're just trying to kill time. The whole, like, it's Ghost is just like dicking around from the start, and then it starts building towards what looks like a climax, but then it's like building way beyond what you think it should be, and now it's just killing time. And we're bringing back old characters. We're having Ganma fight after Ganma fight. This is why it's kind of hard to criticize Ghost, because there's only so many ways you can say, wow, I hate the Ganmisers. Because it's just the same shit every episode.
Every episode, it's the same fucking fight scene.
The same shit. They'll be hanging out. They'll just be like doing whatever. They'll be doing the business of the plot in huge quotation marks. And then, 2 or 3 Ganmisers will appear. And they'll be like, oh shit, they sent the Ganmisers after us. And there's a pointless fight scene, and then the Ganmisers go away, and then they get back to whatever they're doing. It's like, a fight scene should have something happen as a result of it. Not something happen during it, not it interrupts something that's already happening. There should be, like, a fight scene should be a vehicle for plot advancement, or character advancement, or something. But the Ganmisers, they just appear, and then they fight, and then they leave. Thanks, kid.
It's like a quota. They're just ticking off a box. Okay, we have the fight scene.
But it's
Except there's like 6 boxes that say fight scene.
It happens like 3 times this episode.
It's happened 3 times every episode for a real long time.
See, now Kamen Rider, since at least forever, has had the quota of at least 1 fight per episode. Even the slowest, quietest, calmest, most peaceful series has 1 rider fight per episode. But Ghost seems to have like a quota, like you said, a quota of like 3, which really drags it down. Which really, I think that's, the Ganmisers exist just for that. Like, you go back to a series like Kuuga, and it doesn't feel forced. I mean, sometimes it feels a little forced. Sometimes it feels like it was jammed in there.
It's like, once in a while it feels like, well, they had to have this in the episode.
Yeah, but it's, because it's
very
just
rare.
1 fight, it's not so bad. It's just like, you get all your little character, you get your subplot, and then you just have a nice little fight at the end. And sometimes the fight doesn't fit with the rest of the plot, but that's fine. That's Kamen Rider. You take it. It comes with the territory.
Yeah.
You don't have to have 17 fights per episode.
Speaking of, like, completely pointless and dragged out, I was talking about watching the heroic hero legend of the heroic hero Alan, who is heroic.
Who is a hero.
And the entire special seems to be about how much Alan wants to be bestest friends forever with Makoto and maybe kiss a little.
Is it?
And, it's strange watching the new episodes where Alan and Makoto don't even really talk to each other 99% of the time.
They don't care at all. Nobody talks to anybody in this show except for Takeru.
All of the characters are completely dependent upon Takeru now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, fucking go back to that episode of The Simpsons with Poochie on fucking Itchy and Scratchy. Like, when Poochie isn't on screen, everybody should be asking, where's Poochie? What happened this entire episode while Takeru was not on screen?
Yeah, exact. Where's Takeru? I'm building a machine to try and find Takeru. I hope Takeru dies on the way to his fucking home planet at the end of the show.
Well, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, we complained a little bit in Drive about how, Shinosuke didn't seem to be the main character sometimes.
I take it back.
Chase was the main character.
I take it all back.
But they went entirely in the other fucking direction where none of the other characters even matter anymore. They're like throwing a little bone now to Makoto, like, oh, well, Makoto has an evil twin. We don't really know what the fuck we're doing with this yet, but he has one.
We started this plot without having any idea how it was going to finish, so let's just see what happens.
It's 4 or 5 it's like 4 episodes before the series is over. Is this really the point to have the evil Makoto start impersonating Makoto?
This, like I said, they're just introducing new plot points to drag shit out, and they're going to hastily close them up, if they close them up at all. I'm giving them the huge benefit of the doubt, implying they're going to close them up. I hope they close them up, and then shit's going to end.
Wouldn't it be fucking great? Wouldn't it be fucking great if, like, in the final episode, like, nothing has been resolved, and it's just, like, next time on Kamen Rider X-Aid! And they just never fucking finished Ghost.
Like, they're still building up to the final fight, and evil Makoto's still running around and everything, and then they just fucking drop it.
Like, nothing has changed from this episode, and they just end the series and start another one.
That'd be the best case scenario. Actually,
yeah.
At least that'd be funny. That'd be memorable. I'd remember that.
2 weird sisters show up in this episode again as well, and they say the same exact shit from the Legendary Rider Soul special, the same line verbatim.
Really?
And then leave. Yes.
That was...
The real threat is coming, and then they leave.
The real threat. So, yeah, you ain't even seen the real villain yet. I saw the real villain in a scan. He looks stupid.
Oh, no. Do the Ganmeisers fuse into one monster?
I don't know what the deets are. It's a suit. I saw the suit.
Can you show it to me?
If you'd like to see it, yeah. I'll put it in the blog post.
I want to do a live reaction to this again.
Okay, we're gonna do this. I'll put it in the blog post. Keep in mind this is spoilers.
Spoiler alert, we talk about the final fucking boss of Kamen Rider Ghost for the next few minutes. Turn the podcast off forever. If you don't want to hear it.
Turn the podcast to 20 minutes and 39 seconds. If you'd like to hear about the rest of Ghost and stuff, but don't want to get spoiled on the design of the main villain. It's not plot related. Just talk about the design. You
just skip it so you won't be depressed.
It's a fucking travesty. That's what I'll say. Okay, now skip. I'm linking the pictures now.
Wait, that's the movie guy.
Extremer?
Yeah.
No, it's not Extremer. This is Greatizer.
Greatizer?
Greatizer. Can you tell
that sounds
why?
Like a fucking metal hero.
Like a universe hero, Greatizer. And he fights
is this a recolor of Extremer?
No. I think the helmet looks similar, but I don't think... No.
It's the coat.
Let me check.
Like, this is a real fucked up episode of Rider Club Radio. We're just looking at pictures and talking about them. You can't see them.
No.
The final enemy
it is.
in Kamen Rider Ghost is a recolor of a movie enemy. You keep thinking in your heart of hearts that Kamen Rider Ghost cannot get any worse than it is. And it does. Every time.
I'm glad you caught that, Jeff. I didn't catch that. I was like, no. You're like.
I
this
thought
can't
it
be.
was Extremer for a second.
Is there a more perfect way to cap off Ghost, really? Is there a more appropriate way to finish the show, though?
No,
can you think of one?
You might be right. You might be fucking right. How could we have gone this far? How could this show have gone this far downhill?
That is unbelievable.
it didn't even start at a high point. It just, like, it was at ground level and just started fucking digging down into the sub-basements.
We
haven't quite reached hell yet, but we're pretty fucking close.
We're there. We're gonna go back. What's on the other side of the world from Japan? Is it just ocean?
I don't know, probably.
I don't know. We're gonna get the other side of the world eventually. And then
I can't believe that shit.
I'm dumbstruck.
Okay.
Yeah, that's oh boy.
Now that we got all that out of our system,
now that it's
is there?
Okay. Got my noose already.
This episode of Ghost, literally nothing happens, and that's it.
Nothing happens. That's the end. I wish that was the end. Nothing happens, and we're gonna have to put up with the September of Ghost. Starting next week, folks. Get ready. The final countdown.
I can't believe that. We have another month of this horse shit.
We're too deep now. Yeah, it's news.
Maybe we can cheer ourselves up with some news.
Okay. I've got some news. Actually, I've got some good news, even.
Really?
Yeah. So there was a big press conference. X-Aid held a press conference, and a lot of plot details got shown. So we found out a lot about the series, and it's looking pretty good.
I gotta say, it seems like it's, they have all, like, the correct ideas for comedy set up, where it's, like, a fairly serious setting, and, like, the ridiculous shit that happens will, like, clash with it.
Yeah.
Because they're all, like, doctors.
They're all doctors. I was not expecting that.
And, instead of something like Kamen Rider Ghost, where it's supposed to be serious, but they're all dressed like fucking circus performers, and the world makes no sense whatsoever, and there's no grounding aspect to it.
They just dress like doctors in this one, and one of them has like a red pants. That's the most ridiculous it gets, except for this purple fellow off the left.
The dude has like weird like dog ears on his hair that are like different colors. He has like just streaks in his hair. I
could walk past that dude on the street, and I probably wouldn't turn around. If I walked past Makoto on the street, I'd take a photo of him.
This fucking skeleton's walking around town.
God, I got spooked so good.
Yeah, if you saw somebody dressed like a ghost cast member, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, even Akari, who's supposed to be the relatively normal one when she walks around in, like, fucking 1980s ass attire, like, straight from Stranger Things.
She's got this, like, retro... She's like a fashionista who's, like, 10 years ahead of the grade, and you're not sure. You're like,
she's got this, like, retro dork shit going on. Like, she's wearing Poindexter's outfit from some 80s movie.
Yeah. But, enough lamenting Ghosts. I'm sick of talking about Ghosts.
Yeah, let's talk
about X-Aid.
X-Aid.
So the character is a doctor, which I think is really neat. I thought it was just he was called X-Aid because he busts viruses. But he's a doctor.
Nope, he is a doctor. The
cool.
dual themes of the series, all Heisei riders after a certain point have dual themes.
Yeah.
And the dual themes are video games and...
medicine, I guess.
Like medicine. Like doctors.
So we knew before that you go level 1 to pull the bugsters out of the people that they infect. Turns out the bugsters are cellular, so you turn metal level 1 and you go like microscopic, and you fight them on like in a microverse, which sounds so cool.
It sounds cool until you realize it's going to be done with like Toei special effects.
I hope they have just like a white room, and they throw some balloons at you. Those are the blood cells. That's how Showa would
They're
do
not
it.
going to use practical effects.
If it was just
they'll be like, let's throw CG balloons at them.
You know they're going to rely on CG, but if it was just like a colored room and they just chucked balloons at you to represent cells, I'd be happy with that. Or like medicine balls. I'd walk out of the room satisfied.
I don't know. It's going to be like a CGI abomination every time.
Oh, it's going to look horrible.
It's going to be like when the Zords show up in a Sentai and you just stop paying attention for a minute.
Well, I think you're taking this a little,
Look, all of my optimism got drained out over the last fucking 9 years of this show.
Yeah.
Fucking Ghosts.
See, it was enough that X-Aid was a doctor, but it seems like they're all doctors. Like,
yeah,
X-Aid's a doctor.
one of them isn't a doctor.
Yeah, Brave's a doctor.
He used to be a doctor.
Snipe is a gritty ex-doctor. It's like, whoa, it's like that's a crazy coincidence. They all work at the same hospital. It's pretty cool. The main dude who plays X-Aid says that his favorite Rider series as a kid was Ryuki, so we know he's got good taste.
Oh my god.
And
I didn't know Liam was gonna be in this show.
yeah, I'm actually playing Xaid. It's me. I'm the suit actor.
I mean, you couldn't even play the level 1 Xaid.
Oh, come on, I could.
They wouldn't even put you in the fucking mascot costume.
I could be an extra. I could be an Xaid extra.
You tried and then gave up so quickly.
I was like, how could I? Oh, fuck it. I could be an extra in this TV show.
He gave up so fucking quick. I'm excited about this show though. Like I'm not even like cautiously optimistic, so I'm gonna get fucked in the end.
It looks cool.
But I'm just
really
really
cool.
excited.
It doesn't say what Genmu's thing is. I think they're gonna go with Genmu, and there's like an evil Genmu corporation.
I don't know what the deal with that is either, but I guess we'll find out.
It says
Genmu.
in this new press release, it says the Genmu Corporation created the rider gear. In the older stuff, it says that Xaid created the.
Well,
I
that
don't
might
know.
have been like a mistranslation thing one way or another, but we
Could have
do know
been.
that Xaid created the Bugsters.
Xaid fucked up.
Although
with
they
the
might be
Bugsters.
called Bug Stars.
Bug Stars.
Because the new thing says Bug Stars.
You never know until the official romanizations are out, so
Yeah,
it's all
well,
up
the
in
official
the air.
romanizations can be horseshit.
They
as
can
well.
also be horseshit. I'll trust Overtime.
Yeah,
When Overtime decides, that's what I'll go with.
the Bug Stars.
Bug Stars.
The Monstars.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
They play against Michael Jordan.
I think they'd win, considering Michael Jordan's state currently.
Michael Jordan's like 80 years old now.
He's 76 years old. He's
I
not
don't
gonna-
actually know his real age.
I don't
He's
know his
probably
age
not
either.
even really that old.
I don't
but
know. He's too old for basketball, man. He was too old
You're-
for basketball in the 90s.
he was too old for not in the 90s. He was too old when he came back like 98, 99 or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was like he was my hero when I was a kid.
He was everyone's hero.
I wanted to be like Mike.
Did you find the pair of shoes?
Oh, you got the reference. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That was after my time. I was way too old for that movie when it came out, but I
Yeah,
did
so
see
was
it.
I.
I was aware.
So I saw it on TV.
Oh, wow. Why? You could have changed the channel at any time.
I know. I don't know. I thought Michael Jordan was going to be in the movie.
Were you high?
He kind of was in the movie a little bit, I guess.
He's in spirit.
How do you make a movie like that that's just based on a guy, though? Like, did a studio go, hey, Michael Jordan, we want to make this movie called Like Mike, based on you. Oh, yeah, do I get to be in it? No.
No, fuck off. more like, do I have to be in it? No?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess the same shit happened with, like, Bend It Like Beckham.
Oh, yeah, I guess he
When they
wasn't
were
in that.
like, yeah, they were like, we're going to make this movie based on you, David Beckham, but you're not in it.
Thank God.
David Beckham's like, do I get money?
I sure
Yeah.
hope so. Yeah, they got his name in there.
It doesn't say Bend It Like David Beckham. It just says Bend It Like Beckham.
Oh, sorry, they're talking about Doug Beckham, the dude that runs the pharmacy down the street. Really
Yeah, fuck
bend
off,
it.
David Beckham. You don't get a dime. It says like Mike, not like Michael Jordan.
Yes, it could be Jackson. It's ambiguous.
It's Mike O'Malley.
Could be
Like Mike O'Malley. That's a reference that you probably
Nope.
don't even get.
Nope.
You never watched Wild and Crazy Kids? Or Guts?
Don't even know what either of those things. Nickelodeon Guts.
Yeah.
I know of Nickelodeon Guts.
It was hosted by Mike O'Malley.
Oh, okay.
I'm pulling references that like half our audience are like, I was 1 year old then. I don't know what you're talking about.
I've been watching TV since you were swimming around in your daddy's ballsack. Don't tell me about Kamen Rider.
Do we have any more news?
Fuck, yeah, we do. Okay, so a new video game was announced this week. All Kamen
Whoop-de-doo!
Rider. All Kamen Rider Revolution. Now, I've talked a bit about Rider Generation 2. I played a bit of that. This is a sequel to that. And it looks about as good.
The problem with Rider Generation games is they're really, really shallow.
Yeah, they're very... Like, you pick them up and you're like, oh, I got my favorite rider. And then you're like, oh, well, all these riders actually play pretty much the same. Except for, like, one or two special moves.
They played pretty much the same, and they all have, like, 2 special moves.
Yeah. The
it.
more recent riders get a lot of care. Like, I remember Rider Generation 2 came out while Forza was out. And you could mix and match every fucking switch. Like, you could have a bunch of different shit on his left arm, a bunch of different shit on his right arm. Have, like,
you can't do that in the new fucking game.
I bet you can't do it in the new one. And Double had a bunch of combinations. Always had a bunch of... You could switch to all his combinations. But then you go back to Kuuga, and it's like... Yeah, if you use his up B attack, he briefly changes blue, and then back. But there's you can't switch. There's no movesets or anything. It's just less and less care put into the characters gradually as you go back. So if your favorite rider is Agito, then you're fucked.
I guess their idea behind it is, like, kids don't know who these fucking riders are. This was,
absolutely.
12 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. That's no fan service for us.
No. The kids who watch Kuuga are, like, fucking salarymen now. They don't know about Kamen Rider no more.
The kids who watch Kuuga are old enough to be depressed. That's how old they are.
The kids who watch Kuuga are old enough to be in Kamen Rider as the main character now.
Literally, yeah, Gakusano. Literally.
Yeah, it literally happens.
Now the kids who watch Ryuki are now old enough. It's gonna be great. Eventually, the kids who watched O's are gonna be fucking Kamen Riders.
Well, with how often they keep bringing in younger and younger riders, I really don't doubt that. It might be next year that happens.
The first 10-year-old rider. And that's when I stopped watching.
Well, I guess that technically happened already.
What?
In Decade.
Oh yeah, wasn't Wataru a little kid or something?
Yeah. And Hibiki's student became Hibiki in it. And they were both like 10 or 11 years old.
Well, shit. So Hibiki was played by a man who was 38, and then the little kid became Hibiki.
Yeah,
like
a
poetry.
tiny child. Well, that was the entire point of Hibiki, as far as I know, since I haven't really watched much of it, was Hibiki training like a successor.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Hibiki sounds pretty awesome, but I hear it gets a little shaky in the second half.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. Metronome Subs is working on it.
Yeah.
As far as I know, anyway.
And if you're
I guess
impatient,
I haven't gone back to it.
If you're impatient, there's always TVN.
Yeah. If you don't mind some hiccups in the subs.
I don't mind. Most of the time.
Nah. I don't mind that much. It's just, if I had a choice.
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, like, if you look at those comparison images, they just change entire lines of shit.
Sometimes in their older series, they just don't give a fuck sometimes. They're just like, just put whatever.
But, any more news?
It's got X8 right on the front.
Yeah, he's the new guy.
It's not going to be about him, though. The story is not going to focus on him. It's going to be about...
Bullshit.
They say it's going to be about Ghost Inspector, because X8's
Ash is going to win the league, too.
Yeah, fuck off. Actually, his name is Satoshi, actually, so...
What are you, a fucking weeboo on your show about Japanese children's shows?
Yeah, I might be. I call him Taichi instead of Tai.
Why?
Because that's his fucking name, you gaijin.
What? Tai is just a fucking shortened version of Taichi, though.
You want to know something weird about the Digimon dub? They changed... Taichi's last name in the Japanese version is Yagami.
Yes.
And obviously that's way too Japanese for kids, so let's change it to Kamiya.
Wait a second, sir.
What?
I thought his name in the Japanese version was Kamiya as well, but in the manga and the original like shorts, it was Yagami, and they changed it.
In the anime, it's Yagami. Yagami Taichi is his name.
Oh my god. Well, Yagami means like fucking dark mirror or some shit. It's a weird name to give your main character.
That's what he had. But like, why would they change it if they're gonna just change it into something Japanesey anyways?
I don't know.
It's a mystery.
Didn't they do that in like the second series where like some of them have like American names and like one or two of them have like regular ass fucking Japanese names?
I know Yoli. Her original name is Miyako, but they changed it into another foreign sounding thingy anyways.
I don't get that crew
Saban.
at all. Is that 4 kids?
Saban. Saban is a mystery.
Of course. I'll never understand Saban. Like, Saban's just like, how do we fucking get the most money we possibly can out of this?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's not even money. Sometimes it's just like, well, I don't understand your choices.
No.
Oh, it's weird.
I liked the Digimon dub, though.
I could make a whole podcast about all the shit that the Digimon dub changed, but I won't.
I liked the dub alright. I guess I haven't watched it again. It's been a long-ass time since I watched it, so...
I saw the Japanese dub for the first time just a couple of years ago, and I was like, holy fuck, they ruined it. Like, you don't realize until you see it.
The one thing I did realize, though, I watched the first couple episodes again, like a couple years ago, of the dub, and they have screwed and chopped that fucking episode, like, the first couple.
Yeah.
Like, they are, like, completely out of sequence, and shit just gets replayed sometimes.
Yep.
Why? Why did they do that?
I don't know. The biggest thing that pisses me off about the dub is that nobody stops talking. They're always talking.
No, that's true.
There's sometimes bits...
That was a big problem during that time period, though. Like, characters never shut the fuck up, even for a second.
You have to fill every second with dialogue. I hated it.
Even when, like, the camera's panning silently, somebody will be talking over it.
They'll be talking about the scenery that you're looking at right now. Yep.
There's a little bit of that in the Dragon Ball Z dub.
Yeah, I just read the fucking manga.
Especially the fucking Ocean dub, like the original dub.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. I don't know if the Ocean dub is the oldest one. I think there was one before it.
I think the Ocean dub is one of the oldest ones. I don't know if it's number one, but I've heard it's an older one.
I know there was one before it where they didn't even use the correct names.
Oh really?
Like, I think Goku's name was like Jackie.
Oh, I want to see that.
And I don't remember. I know that they changed the names on them.
That's pretty good.
It's weird that, like, that happens, though, where, like, different subgroups or different dubbing companies get a hold of the same fucking material. Like, how many versions of Gatchaman?
Oh, yeah. There's the one that's, like, Battle of the Planets, G-Force.
Yeah, Battle of the Planets, G-Force. There's a Gatchaman.
There's...
Just with, like... a dubbed version.
They did a recent one for a Blu-ray, for the Blu-ray release that came out just a few years ago. They did a new dub just for that was like 100% accurate to the original. And it's apparently not bad. I haven't seen it.
I actually like that one pretty well.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, the fucking Battle of the Planets is screwed and chopped like a motherfucker as well. Like, Ken's name is Mark, even though Ken is already a white man's name.
Yeah, Ken is a perfectly American-sounding name.
Like, Ken is a Japanese name, but it's also an American name for Kenneth.
It's like Joe. Like, either culture can use that name perfectly interchangeably.
I don't think Joe's name was Joe, either.
In Gatchaman? They changed Joe.
In the Battle of the Planets.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm gonna look that shit up, actually.
They can't have changed Joe. Come on.
Yeah. Joe is Jason. In Battle of the Planets.
Why?
Jun is Princess. Jinpei becomes Kiop. Which makes no fucking sense to me. And Ryu becomes Tiny.
Tiny. Great.
In the G-Force version, Ken is Ace Goodheart.
Ace Goodheart. Fuck off.
Joe is Dirk Daring. Jun is Agatha June.
Agatha June.
Jinpei is Pee-wee. And Ryu is Hootie.
Like Hoodie?
Get it? Because he's an owl? Hootie?
Oh. I like Dirk Daring.
Oh, there was another version called Eagle Riders.
Okay, this I am not familiar with.
Eagle Riders, Ken is Hunter Harris.
I like that. That's a cool sounding name.
Joe is Joe Thax.
Thax. Okay.
Jun is Kelly Jenner.
Could be worse.
Jinpei is Mickey Dugan. Which is the most fucking Irish name that's ever been.
Mickey Dugan sounds like he's gonna fight you if you look at him wrong.
He really does. He sounds like he's gonna tell you to put up your fucking dukes any second. And Ryu's name is Ollie Kiwani.
Ollie Kiwani? That's awesome.
Yeah. I've never seen Eagle Riders. I don't know that one.
I've never seen any of the dubs of Gatchaman. I've only seen some of the sub. Holy shit.
I don't understand. Like, how difficult is Ken, Joe, Jun, Jinpei, and Ryu?
You could just stick an E on the end of Jun and color June and call it a day.
Yeah.
But no, that's too easy.
I don't know. I fucking love Gatchaman.
Gatchaman's cool as shit.
Wow, that's neither here nor there. This is a Kamen Rider podcast.
We got really far off topic there. Do we have any emails? I'm out of news.
Oh, we haven't talked about Zyuohger yet.
Oh shit, yeah. Let's talk about Zyuohger.
Well, I wanted to segue into talking about, for 1 second, I want to talk about Legendary Rider Souls Episode 7.
Oh, okay. I didn't see this one, so you can...
I didn't watch Episodes 2 through 6. I could tell you exactly what happens in all of them. A random monster from the series that is about to get an icon shows up and attacks the heroes, and then they fight him.
Yep.
And then an icon shows up of the hero from the series, and then they transform into him, and then they defeat the monster.
Yeah,
and then the mysterious sisters say some mysterious shit and then disappear.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Because that's exactly what happens in 7.
What was the rider in 7?
In 7, it was Wizard.
Wizard. Oh, what a waste.
Yeah, the white wizard shows up and fucking fucks up our heroes, quote unquote, our heroes, and then they transform into Wizard and Double and fuck him up.
Yeah, it happens with fucking Heart comes back, and fucking who comes back for Gaim? I think it's Baron. Yeah, Baron comes back for Gaim, and who came? They did Double too. I think it was the Nightmare Dopant. Or something. Dopanto comes back for Double. It's the same.
Yeah,
it was
the Nightmare Dopant.
Yeah, it's the same formula every time. It's a big monster comes back.
Yeah, and nothing is resolved. Like at the end, they're like, the weird sisters show up and they're like, "Who are you?" And they say the real threat is coming. And then fucking Takeru says, "I understand now.
I see.
I have to use the souls, and then we'll never see them again."
Of course. That was the tipping point in this episode for me, is Takeru sees the sisters, and I was like, if he acts like he recognizes them, like, we gotta watch those fucking Legendary Rider shorts to know what's going on, I'm gonna turn my chair upside down and sit on the wheels for the rest of the day. And he looked at them, and he was like, it's you two, and I was like, no, fuck this TV show.
No, Liam, let's go back a second. What? You're gonna turn your chair upside down and sit on the wheels? Is that a Canadian expression?
Yeah, no, it's just something we do when we're angry.
Okay,
you don't do that?
I guess that's a different culture. I'm not allowed to poke fun.
Yeah, what do you do? You gonna be...
bunch of fucking Great North weirdos.
You gonna be racist towards Canadians now? Is that what we're gonna do on
If
here?
I'm racist against anything, it's filthy fucking Canucks.
Oh.
You Canuckle heads.
The big Canuckle. We've experienced so much oppression in our time.
So absolutely nothing of consequence happened in Legendary Rider Souls Episode 7.
It's just cool to see the hoodies. That's really what you're there for.
They're alright. Yeah. They're alright.
I like them.
The Heroic Legend of the Heroic Hero Alan the Hero, Episode 2, was bullshit.
What happened?
Nothing happened in it. It's literally shit that happens between scenes of the show.
Oh, no.
And he talks to himself on rooftops over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. Like, you get clips from the show as well. He's like, I lost my friend, Grandma. And Grandma's like, well, sometimes you have to fucking your friend has to save himself before you can save him. And Alan's like, well, Grandma, I'm gonna fucking mind control my best friend. And so it shows that scene where he mind controls Makoto.
Mm.
And then he's talking to Makoto on a roof about how they're going to go get takoyaki together and maybe he's going to put the tip in. And then Igor shows up. And Igor's like, wow, are you playing with him like a doll? What are you, a fucking freak? Are you a sex pervert? And then leaves. And then it cuts to Alan being hunted by Adele.
Okay.
And then he's like, why am I being hunted? And Igor says, you'll find out in the main show. And then he leaves. And then Makoto gets free, and Alan like pines after him, and then he eats takoyaki.
Wow, that sounds like a real good TV show viewing experience.
If I wasted any time this week at all, it was the time I spent watching that. I don't know how long it actually was. It felt like an hour, but I feel like I lost a little chunk of my life that I'll never be able to get back.
Oh, shit.
And they didn't even fuck.
That's... There's no gay sex in it at all?
Not even a little.
Wow, truly a waste of your time.
It was such a waste. My pants were like halfway off. It was worthless. So that's my review. I give it a 2 out of 5. Just a terrible, terrible show.
2 out of 5. Garbage.
So that's my review of that. Let's talk about Zyuohger.
Yes, thank God. This week, Bungley creates clones of Sayla and Tusk, and everyone's got to figure out which is the real one, or else they'll blow up because Bungley puts bombs on them too. Jeff, what did you think of this episode?
It was fun. It was a fun episode.
Yeah, it's just pretty good, you say?
I liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't, like, wild out of my fucking seat or anything. I thought it was a weird mix of, like, corny and heartfelt when the two clones gave up their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, wow.
And, but I really liked the episode. And I especially loved the whole fucking, like, game show segment. Where how ridiculously into doing the game show they were, and how they had, like, shiny makeup all over their faces.
They had, like, special segments and stuff.
And my favorite moment with that was when Misao comes in, and he's like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, we're doing a game show. And he's like, in that case... And he turns around, and he's just wearing the fucking suit. There's, like, not even a cut or anything. He just turns, and he's wearing it.
He's already got a question already and everything. Like, he was thinking about it the whole way home. Like, damn, if I get up to that treehouse and they're doing a game show, I'm not hammering that shit.
It was a clip show, which pissed me off.
Yeah, the clip show thing pissed me off, but I think it had a really strong ending.
Yes.
So they figure out which ones are the fakes, and the real kicker is the fakes don't know they're fake. They think they're real. It's really obvious which ones are the fakes, because they act kind of like dicks. But they are the fakes, and they want to be the real ones. And I was expecting... Well, I wasn't expecting, but, like, in a shitty show, it would have been like, oh, they found us out. Turn into monsters. And they would turn into the fucking squirrel monster.
It seemed like it was going to happen, though.
Yeah.
Because they start, like, laughing and shit. But then when they're, like, trying to figure out a way not to kill him, they're like, holy shit, they're, like, really cool people. They're our friends.
They know. Because they're just people. So they don't turn into the monsters. They just choose to sacrifice themselves because they know they're the fakes. And they're like, well, that sucks, buddy. It's a very mature ending. More mature than I was expecting from a Sentai show.
I can agree with that. I really thought it was going to be like they were going to turn into monster mashes.
No, I don't mean mature in like a violent way. I mean mature in like a it's
not like M-rated.
Not like M-rated mature. Mature isn't like it's real people making a tough decision, which is really, it was a very heartfelt little ending. I smiled at it.
They were like struggling to find a solution. And that was Bungley's whole point, was that there was no other solution. They were going to have to destroy their friends, their fake friends. But they did find a solution through compassion.
See, the thing is, there is an easy solution. There was an easy solution from the start. The clones are made with memories of Amu, or of Tusk and Sayla, right? Mm-hmm. They're made with each other's memories. So all you gotta do is ask one of them something that the other one wouldn't know. And there you go. Because it's a
How would that work?
It's because the Tusk is made from Amu's memories, right? So he wouldn't, the imposter Tusk wouldn't know anything that Amu didn't know already, right? Because it's made from her brain.
I guess that's true if they were made from each other's brains and they weren't made from their own perceptions of themselves.
Pretty sure, I don't think Bungley can just clone you. He has to make someone that you remember. So if Yamato...
Do you not remember yourself?
Well, no, but it can't... He doesn't do it with you.
I remember myself.
He says he clones them from each other's memories.
I remember myself, Lee.
I don't think you do.
I'm a pretty cool guy.
So if Yamato was just like, hey, Tusk, 2 days ago we had a really private conversation and no one else knew, and what did I say was my favorite flavor of donut? Ba-bam! You got him. Only the real Tusk would know.
What a private conversation that couldn't be shared with others.
Tusk, I need you to come aside. I gotta go to Tim's.
And I want you to know my favorite donut. Jelly-filled. Jelly-filled. Don't you fucking tell anyone, you dumbass elephant.
I'll cut you. But I mean, is all I was thinking was
I'll sell your fucking ivory.
All I was thinking was that the whole time. It's not a point against the episode. I was distracted more by the clip show element. which felt
I got
unnecessary.
pissed. If you follow our Twitter, Rider Club Radio, at Rider Club Radio,
Follow.
You would have seen me with a very angry outburst when I was watching the show and realized it was a fucking clip show.
It's I feel like this was an episode where the budget was super tight or something, because it takes place in the treehouse and then they go to a park and that's the end of the episode.
Yep.
There's not even a giant robot fight.
Which was pretty cool.
Thank God. Thank fucking God. But like it speaks to a really more low-key episode, which I liked. But at the same time...
It's necessary. It's necessary to have the budget look like it's being put into the other episodes, to have a few episodes where not much of it is used.
Like, as long as... instead of having big action, they fill it with clip show shit, which I hated, but like they just have a story that can happen in just a couple locations and works just being in a couple locations. It's more like a I don't know, this is maybe kind of an extreme way to describe it, but it's like a pressure cooker atmosphere sort of story in the treehouse as they're trying to prove who's the real one or not.
There's a tension, even though it's like a funny game show thing. There's a tension to it, especially once they are like beeping.
Yeah.
Now, I would describe that as a pressure cooker when they're like about to fucking explode and they're beeping.
Yeah. But yeah, they do well with the limited space that they have.
There's a lot of heart in this episode as well. A lot of fun moments and a lot of like... There's like that final scene where they're trying to figure out what to do to save the duplicates is like really kind of touching.
Yeah. It's like...
Even though it was a little rushed.
It's just like Tuvix. Even though they're horrible abominations, they're still people.
Why do you gotta bring that shit up? You don't know about Star Trek. Fuck off.
I like Tuvix.
No one likes Tuvix. Fuck off.
It's cool though, and I like the bit with Misao.
Tuvok and Neelix don't like Tuvix.
Oh, well, of course they don't. It's still their lives. I like the bit with Misao when he's like, he asked them the question, what was I eating the first time we went out to lunch? And they all remember. And he's like, even though it was such a small detail, they all remembered. They're such great friends.
He's so fucking excited to finally have friends.
I love him.
He's so great.
I
was really worried he was going to take all the focus, but now I'm really happy he's around.
He's got his role, he's got his personality, he stays there. He stays in it.
He fits into the show, like, he's like an extra finger coming out of the hand, but the show had the space for that extra finger in the glove.
Yeah, if you want to use a really weird, specific metaphor, yeah.
Liam, I don't poke holes in your fucking shit.
Yes, you do, all the time.
Never.
Every time
when have I
open my
ever done
mouth.
that? When have I ever fucking done that?
Oh, shut up. It was,
I like this episode a lot, even though I was really fucking angry every time it cut away to a clip.
I think my anger at the clip show was more... it was offset by the fact that it was a very unique episode.
Yeah.
Different from what we're usually seeing. I think that balanced out. I loved it. I love this episode.
That's why I was a little, hesitant to say exactly how I felt about it at the beginning, because I'm still not entirely sure.
Yeah, still?
Because I like so much about the episode, but, like, I was legit angry when it started being a clip show. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, Zyuohger?
They gotta save the
clip
budget.
shows were a thing of the fucking 90s. Why are they still happening?
They gotta save the budget for all those ghost special effects.
I guess so.
They gotta save it for the animation in Dragon Ball Super.
It's like fucking when an episode of Family Matters starts and all the characters are already in the goddamn living room. You're like, I know where this shit's going.
This is a thing that they shot in 30 minutes.
Do you remember the time I built a robot on myself? Yeah, Steve, and I didn't like it much. And then... Man, I could do a whole one-man show.
Yeah, fuck off. I was waiting for you to stop.
Never. I'll do the whole fucking thing on this show if you don't shut the fuck up.
No.
So, is that all you have to say about Zyuohger?
Yes, I loved it.
I liked it a lot.
I'm excited for Gokaiger to appear next episode.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking pumped for that, because I watched most of Gokaiger.
I did not see Gokaiger.
Why are you pumped?
I don't know. I think they're cool. Pirates are cool.
That's true. You should watch it. It's a really good show. I didn't finish it.
I haven't seen enough Sentai to appreciate it. I hear Gokaiger is like a starting point for a lot of people, which I cannot fucking fathom.
Yeah, it
like,
gives you a little introduction to each series, because it
guess,
doesn't like it's not based on what happens in those series. They just transform into the characters.
But it seems like the fun of it is like, oh look, it's like Black Condor from Jetman. He's back in the show. But like you don't have
There is
that.
a lot of that.
You don't have that if you haven't seen the episode or you haven't seen the series it's from.
I don't know. I think you can approach it either way. It can either be like you watch it and you're like, wow, that guy looks cool, and you like retroactively learn about him, and you can watch the series afterwards and be like, man, he was so cool in a new thing. He's really cool here. Or you can take it the way it's supposed to be and watch the series first and then see him show up again.
Like you don't have to watch all of the shit, obviously, but like, you know, you have a few.
That's how I got into like Space Sheriff Gavon. Like I watched his appearance, like the Gavon versus Gokaiger movie, and then I watched the new Space Sheriff Gavon movie, and I started watching the old series because of it. I think that's a legit way to get into it, and I mean Gokaiger is a celebration of Sentai history in a way that like Decade was more like a guy who shits on all the characters that he comes in contact with.
Always comes back to Decade when we talk about Gokaiger.
It's very similar. Gokaiger is a much more successful anniversary series.
Yeah, because they actually got people back from every show. They got at least one face actor back from every single Sentai, which is insane to me.
Yeah, Decade got like nobody back.
They got like
for the most part.
I think Wataru came back because of contract, and I think that's it.
Well, Blade's actor was like a voice, and fucking in All Riders, Shoichi shows up for one fucking scene.
Like his face?
Yeah, he's like when they're all like walking back into the dimensional rift or whatever. Like Agito turns around for no fucking reason and like says something, and then he like turns into Shoichi. And that was it. They brought him back for that.
That's a shame.
I don't know if that's All Riders or the Decade movie. I don't remember.
Who gives a fuck? It's a waste.
It's a waste. Anyway, our first message is from Renato, who says, I watched several Rider series, and I think Ghost is the worst of all. I like Wizard way more than Ghost, and Wizard is boring. Do you guys find Ghost the worst Kamen Rider ever?
Worst I've seen, for sure.
I don't know. Because, like, a lot of people actually really like Fies and stuff like that. But I can't stand it. And I can't stand Kiva either. Like, I couldn't even finish them. And I feel like my opinion of Ghost would be very different if I wasn't on a podcast where I had to continually watch it.
My opinion on Ghost would be, oh yeah, I saw the first 5 episodes and it sucked, so I stopped.
Yep, exactly. And that's my opinion on a lot of series. Well, not a lot, a few. Like, not even a handful. I would say that it's just as bad as the worst. Almost like a fucking fraction off, if it's not just as bad. So yes, is my answer.
It's down there, yeah.
And, again, the fact that I've watched it all the way through might have a big bearing on the fact that I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's like if you have like a hot poker and you accidentally poke yourself with it once and you're like, damn, that kind of hurt, and you leave it. But like if you take the hot poker and do it once a week for 50 weeks, you're gonna really start to hate that hot poker.
Also, you have a fucking problem.
Yeah, you might want to get help about that too, about that hot poker.
Our next email is from Ice Tyrant.
Okay.
Who says, hey guys, now that we're near the end, what will you miss most about Ghost? Keep up the good work.
What will I miss about Ghost?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
And I say this from the bottom of my heart, with absolutely no sarcasm.
Okay.
With no bitterness.
Okay.
There's no joke to this. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all, eh?
Absolutely nothing. Won't even miss the suit designs because they've been tainted for me.
It's not that I don't like the suit designs. They are good, but it's not like I'm going to be pining for them when they're gone.
No.
Is the thing.
At one point, I wanted a Spectre action figure, but now I never would. Because all I fucking think about when I look at it is this show and how I had to fucking sit through it forever.
Yeah, it certainly puts a damper on everything. You know, you look back
at angry with this show.
You look back on Drive and it's not perfect, but I miss fucking Shinosuke and Belt-san. I miss the whole crew.
That's the weird thing about it is, like, during Drive we had a lot of complaints and stuff, and those are still there in my mind, but when I think about Drive, I think about all the good stuff.
Yeah, you remember the best parts. I don't know if there's going to be any best parts to remember about Ghost.
No.
That's a shame.
Also, I talk about all the time about how, like, so many people seem to still like Ghost, and it had been a while since I checked up on that, and I went around to some forums, like the Kamen Rider General as well, and opinion on Ghost has soured.
No way.
It seems like even the general tokusatsu public doesn't really like it.
Is it because it's been getting worse and worse for 50 years?
When it's just a little bit of raw sewage seeping out into your living room, you can ignore it. But when the vein has burst completely...
You're gonna have to start acknowledging that there's a problem.
Is there anything you would miss, Liam?
No.
That's truly an honest response from us as well.
It's not a joke. I know we joke a lot on this podcast. The answer is no.
Our next question.
Next question
is from Graham.
Friend of the show?
Still, I guess.
No, I was going to say maybe it's a different Graham.
No, it's the friend of the show, Graham.
Friend of the show, Graham. Hey, Graham.
We have known for years.
Okay.
Would you ever consider streaming Godzilla or Gamera movies or other tokusatsu? Will you continue to stream Kamen Rider the First and the Next?
I think the First and the Next still has some headway left. We could probably get like 6 more of those out. So yeah, not anytime soon.
We haven't streamed anything in like a really fucking long time.
Yeah, we did the Gavan movies. That was like months ago.
Yeah, that was really fun too, so I don't know why we haven't done it since.
We should do something.
We should. I don't know what we would stream. Like, we're open to streaming other tokusatsu.
Yeah, we'll let you know. We'll do something soon.
If we do stream something that's not like Kamen Rider or like Super Sentai or something like that, though, it has to be from something that we've seen, probably.
Maybe, yeah.
Because you can't just play a movie from like some show you never fucking watched. You won't understand anything.
Maybe we can just play stuff that's not even from anything. Maybe we just watch fucking Captain America 2 or something if anyone wants to come and see.
Oh, don't say that. We're gonna get a fucking DMCA real quick.
Disney, that was a joke. We would never do that.
Cease and desist immediately.
We would never, ever actually do that.
We should just fucking find something and stream it, though. I don't know. Could be fun. I mean, I haven't even, like, streamed a game.
Yeah.
I got really fucking far in Ghouls and Ghosts, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna kill myself if I keep fighting these fucking red Aramers, so... I have to stream something again. Unrelated, but I found out my computer is good enough to play Overwatch, so I might be doing that soon.
Ooh, play some Overwatch with me. I've been playing Overwatch.
Yeah, maybe I'll play Overwatch with all you guys too.
You guys, if you can't see, I'm pointing out into the world. All you guys.
You guys.
You. Well,
maybe we'll like get a team together or something.
4 of you at once, including me and Jeff. 4 lucky guys.
We're just gonna end up playing with our fucking friends. So yeah, we might, is the answer, Graham. There are no definitive plans right now, but we'll see.
I'm down with God. We'll stream the bad Godzilla movies. Stream the American
Why do
ones.
we only stream bad things?
I don't know. No one cares about copyright.
I guess.
Man, that American Godzilla movie.
Oh no.
The thing is, I could be referring to either of them. They're both bad.
One of them's a hell of a lot better than the other.
Yeah, that's not saying much, though.
Oh. Our next question is from Dewey Defeats Truman.
You might want to change that. You know, it didn't happen. It's wrong.
That's the joke, you fucking dipshit!
Oh.
Do you prefer Kamen Rider movies to be an alternate universe like some of the older Heisei movies, or just a continuation after the series thing like the more recent ones?
I like a Rider movie to be a Gaiden. I mean, it doesn't literally have to be a, Gaiden thing, but I like it as just like, oh, during the series, they went to the circus, and the circus had a dark secret, or just some shit that happened off-screen while the show was on, as long as it doesn't irreparably damage the timeline or completely recontextualize later events. Just like a little side thing. I like that.
I like them both in a way. I like the problem with the after the series movies is that, and something that I've noticed a lot, is that there are no more fucking monsters after most of the series. So they have to shoehorn in some stupid shit for them to fight.
Yeah, the story has to bend around to accommodate itself. It's weird.
So I like a side story that's set during the series. Like Liam said, that's my absolute favorite.
And there's the most story potential there.
Yeah, the second favorite there would be the alternate universe. Because it's fun to see the characters recontextualized.
Yeah, it's fun too. I liked Godspeed Love.
And after that, it's after the series. Because if after the series is done well, that's great. But it doesn't seem to be most of the time.
And after story is a cool idea, but like...
And my least favorite is the huge fucking clusterfuck all-rider shit.
Superhero Wars,
Superhero Tyson horse shit.
Almost never good.
Never good.
Never good, period, actually.
Oh, Megamax was good.
Oh, well.
That wasn't a Superhero Tyson, though.
It kind of was.
It kind of, yeah. On that note, what is your favorite Rider movie? I watched Missing Ace recently and thought it was pretty good, though I'd still say the best is Megamax. The best Kamen Rider movie is A to Z Gaia Memories of Fate.
I was going to say J.
A to Z Gaia Memories of Fate.
I like J more.
J is a really fucking great movie. I like it. I like Zeto better than J.
I think I'm biased. I have a soft spot for J because he was my first rider. But yeah. I do love J.
I like Zeto better than J. You and I could be Zeto and J in the remakes.
We could be those shitty double riders that never really came to fruition.
We could be in Kamen Rider World 2. It could also be 15 minutes long.
Make no sense. You fight Ghost.
If Ghost was 15 minutes long, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, if you squeezed all this in 15 minutes, bravo.
There's been about 15 minutes of story in this whole series.
I want to do a thing when we finish Ghost. I want to go back and count the number of things that actually happened in the series. If we can get it on two hands, then the show failed.
You know what I would really love to do?
What?
Is if I had like 1,000,000 hours and the talent and effort, I would love to make like a single movie out of the Ghost series.
Oh my god.
Like a 2-hour edit.
Yeah.
And
you might be able to... Like, you can't fix the characters with that. Not a lot of them.
No.
But you can fix the pacing for sure.
I feel like 2 hours might be like too long.
I mean, like 2 things happen in the show. Like, Makoto does his thing, and then Alan, and now it's gonna end.
My favorite is A to Z Gaia Memories of Fate. I've talked about it 1,000,000 times.
Yeah,
so much I love it.
A to Z.
It's like a rock solid story, and it stands on its own.
I like the Showa movies where it's just an extended episode of the show.
That's true.
I watched the movie Kamen Rider Black's movie and Kamen Rider Stronger's movie are both just like, oh look, the evil organization, they're up to some shit this week, and it's just a show episode, but the budget is higher and it's like 40 minutes instead of 20 minutes.
The best Kamen Rider movie is Kamen Rider The Next.
Yeah, of course.
Starring that one bitch from The Ring.
I love the part with the idol and the cursed song.
My favorite part's the part where Rider 2 punches a fucking truck into a wall and it explodes. That movie has the sickest fucking practical effects in it.
It does.
It is wrapped around the most horseshit story I've ever seen in anything in my life. Yeah. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yes.
Our next email is from Zyuohger.
Okay.
Who has literally never had a subject in the title of any of his emails. And this one is called No Subject Ever.
That's his quirk.
Dear Cider Lub Radio.
Okay.
Very funny. Very original.
Pretty good.
I'm still tuning into this shit show since episode 1 without giving up until the end. Ghost as well.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
got him! Got him!
Oh, give me some water. I'm sizzling.
Kinda low on writer-related questions or rants this time, so tell me, what are some podcasts or otherwise mostly sound-only stuff you guys consume? Like during work, commute, gaming time, or whatever. I'm pretty bummed. My favorite YouTube Let's Play, the only one I watched or listened to regularly, ended around the same time I entered into the bashing your head against a brick wall repeatedly until either one breaks journey that is Dark Souls. So yeah, I'm kind of in need of shit like that for the grinding and boss repeats not to get boring. Don't make me start to re-listen to your old episodes. Re-listen to our old episodes. Next question.
Don't even joke about that.
Don't go back to the beginning. It's terrible. Don't do it. Don't go back even like a little ways. It's bad. It's all bad. Don't even listen to this one. Liam, do you have anything that you listen to that's mostly sound only?
I listen to music. Usually
God,
when
you're
I
boring.
when I play like fire up a game like a Dynasty Warriors game or something where you don't have to listen, and I just put some music on, and that's it. I don't listen to podcasts.
I listen to music when I'm doing when I'm working on art and shit.
Yeah.
I usually listen to, there's a YouTube channel called New Retro Wave.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like modern 80s synth music. It's fucking sick.
That's fucking... what I do usually is I go back to the old Retro Club Radio episodes. I have the master tracks, and I just remove Jeff's audio, and I just listen to myself. It's really relaxing.
That's probably a much better podcast.
Yeah, it's 50% better, yeah.
You fucking asshole. If you're looking for a new podcast to listen to, boy, do I have something for you.
Here we go. Get your fucking...
Get ready to be shilled on.
Get your umbrellas.
I got a new podcast that's coming out fairly soon. I wish I could give you a specific date, but it's still being worked on. All the kinks are being worked out. We recorded. It's starring myself and internet superstar Josh Henderson from the fucking YouTube program Continue, and other such podcasts such as Fantasy Fiction, Cracking the Spine, and whatever else he did with other losers that I asked him. Because apparently he'll do it with anybody.
Just anyone?
Also, he'll do a podcast with them. I'm doing a podcast, me and Josh are, called M-Class Podcast. It's all about Star Trek. And our first episode is about Star Trek the Motion Picture. So if you like Star Trek, fucking peep that shit.
There you go.
It's at M-Class Podcast on Twitter, and we'll figure out where the fuck else to put it.
You're a fucking nerd-ass fuck. Check out this Star Trek podcast.
Yeah, Liam's pretty much the coolest guy in his school because he loves Japanese children's media, but not American television shows.
I'm the coolest dude in 3rd grade.
So fucking listen to my podcast. Liam's not on it, so it's 50% better.
Oh, it's a shame.
And also, I listen to a couple other podcasts, a little bit. There's a Dark Souls podcast called Don't Give Up Skeleton.
Okay.
That's pretty good. It's basically just people talking about their experiences with Dark Souls. Some of the people that are, bigger in the Dark Souls community end up on there, fucking... What's his face? The guy that finds all, the secrets. It's people who actually do things.
Really famous people fucking what's his name?
Fucking Jagoff that does that thing. God, I wish I could remember his name. He has sort of a strange name, but he data mines the games and finds all the hidden counters and shit to figure out how mechanics work and cut content, and that was a really good episode. I've literally not listened to any more, but I'm supposed to be on it at some point, so it's good.
Sick.
And Acquisition Podcast is pretty good if you like Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
A specific podcast just about Deep Space Nine?
Yes.
Damn, okay.
I don't know if you know this, but there are 9 billion Star Trek podcasts.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna get pretty specific.
I really wanted to make one myself, but I didn't want to make it specific because I'm an asshole, so I just did it. But they made a specific one, and it's pretty good. The Porycast is pretty alright. The Porygon cast.
What's
You
that
know
about?
the Twitter account Porygon, right? That's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
huge fucking parody of Polygon and video game like clickbait.
Yeah.
And they have like a podcast where it's this big official like podcast thing, but they just sit around and shit around about video games and shit.
That sounds fun.
It's pretty alright.
Sounds pretty good.
I don't really get all that into podcasts for a dude who's made 2 of them now.
Yeah, me neither.
Weirdly enough.
No, I don't listen to that many.
But yeah, listen to Huey Lewis in the News.
If you got any Hall & Oates vinyls lying around,
Just fucking listen to Hall & Oates. Don't worry about any of that other shit.
that's my recommendation.
Listen to M-Class Podcast when it comes out. It's gonna be real fucking good.
Okay. I'll listen to it.
You're not gonna listen.
You're gonna have at least one listener.
You're not gonna fucking listen to it. You're gonna be like, what's this nerd shit? Star Trek Dorker Prize.
I'll listen to or like Star Trek Nerd Prize.
That's just as bad.
Yeah. More like Nerd Trek for fucking nerds.
What are you, some sort of fucking mental defective?
Is that all our emails?
No. We have an email from James.
Okay.
Who says, hello, fellow Rider fans. My question is, what is the weirdest hyper battle video you guys have seen, Ryuki or Faiz? I have seen neither of those.
I watched the hyper battle video for Ryuki, and it is definitely the weirdest thing ever. Oh, Kabuto had a fucking weird one too.
Yes, Kabuto did have a weird one, but it's my favorite one that I've ever seen.
I'm gonna say Ryuki though, when all the riders show up and start acting like the Sentai team, and he fights Agito.
Yeah, that's weird as fuck.
He fights Burning Agito and teams up with Shining Agito, and they all do it in a warehouse on the edge of town, but then it was all a dream. That's the weirdest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Ryuki since I've never seen the Faiz one.
It is a hyper battle video, and it's just a fucking video where a hyper battle happens and everything else is just like messed up whatever. So yeah, it's awesome.
Secondly, do you guys like the concept of final forms having some kind of a drawback, like the case of Blade, Oz, and Gaim? Have a good week, and X-Aid's story sounds really interesting. Hopefully it doesn't pull a ghost.
Pull a ghost and turn out to be shit.
Here's fucking hoping, with all of my heart and soul, that it doesn't pull a ghost.
I'm sure it won't. We can't have 2 in a row.
Yeah, don't fucking
he
say
said
that.
Ominously.
Lightning struck in the background after he said that. What do you think of the concept of final forms having some sort of a drawback?
I love it. I
do too.
It just adds another little layer of interesting. As long as it's I don't want. I'm kind of sick of like the final form turns you into the monster slowly. We've had that a couple too many times. Otherwise, having a drawback like it even if it's something as simple as it just kills you as you use it, or something like that.
It's like super draining or something.
Yeah, I don't know, or like it lowers your lifespan the more you use it.
Yeah,
or just something like that. It's
like a trade-off for extreme power. Like, not to use Ghost as an example all the time, but it's a series that's happening right now. What did Ghost have to do in order to get Infinity?
He died.
Infinite. He died, but then he came back.
That's true.
And he had Infinite.
He had it.
And what drawback does Infinite have?
None. It's the strongest.
None. He's just really fucking powerful and can beat almost anybody, and there's no drawback whatsoever. There's no... For the longest time, there was no threat in the series. There was no tension. Because he's just so fucking strong. If your character's gonna be, like, real fucking OP in his final form, he should have some sort of a drawback to it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. Like I said, it makes it more interesting. Like, a final form that's, like, involved in the story and has an effect on the story, like they're trying to do with Deep Spectre and failing, is cool. And a drawback helps with that.
So hopefully that answers your question, James. And our final email of the night is from Lost Ankh.
Okay.
Who says, "Hey guys, big trouble!"
Oh.
This is my first hate meal, having enjoyed the podcast for the past 2 to 3 months. My question for you guys is, what do you look for in a tokusatsu show? Because with X-Aid, I'm starting to look at it differently compared to previous Rider shows. I just want it to be fun, and that's a big contrast to the past few shows that have gone by. Have a good one.
Oh, what I look for in a tokusatsu show?
When it comes to X-Aid, I'm in the same boat as you are. I want it to be fun, and that's because it's shaping up to be like a mostly comedic series. I think that's the difference of how you approach a series. Like, you might want a better story or a deeper story or something in a more serious series. But in something that's more lighthearted and goofy, what you want is something that's like more fun and enjoyable. And either way, I want characters that have personalities.
That's really all I ever want out of Toku. It can be anything else. I just want good characters that feel real and who are fun to watch and who I care about. That's all. Anything else I can take.
You know what? I can actually agree with that. If X-Aid turns out to be a serious series, like if it pulls a Gaim and has like a really fucking silly premise, but turns out to be 100% serious, I'd be fine with that as long as the characters have personalities and they interact with each other in an interesting manner.
Yeah. They got relationships that are complex and change with time and just interesting shit that I like to watch. Be good.
Characters are the backbone of any piece of fiction.
Yeah.
And personally, I can read something that isn't character specific. It's not like character driven, but I won't enjoy it as much as something that's character driven.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe that's not like artistic, because like a lot of like art writing is about writing concepts and situations and not so much people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I can't really get into a story if I don't really care about any of the characters. I don't even have to like a character. A character could be a huge fucking dick face, but if I care about the character, like I use as a comic book for an example, like the character Quicksilver,
yeah,
is a huge fucking dick face.
Absolutely.
He is just a giant self-absorbed asshole, but I like the character anyway,
just
because
like
he's fun and enjoyable to read and to see his interaction with other characters.
I want to see what he's going to do next.
Yeah, just like Tendo. Just like Tendo, Quicksilver works as a foil to a more grounded character.
Yeah.
Which is why they oftentimes pair him up with, like, Hawkeye or somebody like that, who's just a normal guy for the most part.
A good duo, yeah.
And that's my 2 cents on it. I want good characters in X-Aid. That's pretty much it.
Same here. My wants are not many.
Let's see if they actually fucking do it, though. I'm scared about that, but
me too.
Thanks for writing in, everybody who did. Thanks for asking questions on Twitter, everybody who did. I think that's it for the podcast this week.
All right.
If you'd like to have your name said on the podcast, you can write in to writerclubradio@gmail.com with your questions, topics of discussion, and comments.
Or you can follow us on Twitter @writerclubradio, and we have the best Twitter account on earth that was certified by James Twitter.
We have a fucking red check mark. We're that cool.
No one else has got that.
Don't look for it. It's there. Just believe me.
It's only visible if you have a Twitter premium account.
It's only visible if you believe in your Kokoro.
Yeah.
You have to believe harder about the infinite potential of humanity.
If even one of you doesn't believe, it's not going to appear.
So blame it on each other if shit doesn't show up. It's not our fault.
So
thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.